Scientific inquiry is one of the 3 strands in the Australian curriculum. All inquiries start with students identifying and posing questions, but this isn't always easy for them to do.
They might not be used to an environment or a classroom where they are allowed to ask questions and encouraged to ask questions. So setting one up so that culture exists is really important.
What does a scientist do?
There are ways that teachers can encourage an inquiring mindset in their classroom.
So one of the first things we have to do if we want to establish a questioning culture in our classroom is actually make sure that there is space and time for students to ask questions.
What are you going to observe?
Younger students can be encouraged to ask questions when they are observing the world around them.
They look like wide bellies.
So they're just sharing their wonder or joy or curiosity about the world through a statement like, oh, look at the bird. So we might extend on their question by sharing a little bit more information about it and then invite them to ask a question. Have you got a question about the yellow bird? And so by doing that, we've valued their expression of wonder.
Students may also ask fact-based questions.
This is a simple request for information. And frankly, if you have it, share it. If you don't have it, Google it, look it up. Look it up with the students so that they know how to use these research skills for themselves sometime too.
The way a teacher answers a question can affect a student's ability to understand scientific thinking.
Ooh, this is a science question.
So it's important to provide explanations based on the student's age and level of knowledge.
The stem grows above the ground.
As soon as we give them a whole explanation that is not accessible to them, we've essentially presented science as magic, and we don't want to do that. We want science to be science.
Another type of question common in science are those where the class can investigate what the answer could be.
Do you reckon we could do an experiment to find out?
Questions like, how does X affect Y? Or what is the relationship between X and Y? And these kinds of questions are ones that we can either design an experiment to test, or we can formulate some sort of research plan. We can find an answer together with our students to these questions.
Students may also ask philosophical questions, which can be challenging for the teacher to answer.
We can tell them that that's not a question that has just one right answer. That's a question that has lots of different answers depending on who you are and where you come from. We can encourage them to ask other people in their lives about that questions.
Why do we think that?
Encouraging an inquiry mindset is foundational to learning science.
Questions are at the heart of inquiry. They're at the heart of research. We cannot learn new things, we cannot find new things out unless we're asking questions to begin with.